Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on Wager Talk TV with your college football top 25 video for Week 8 of the college football season this Saturday, October the 22nd. And yes, we have 5 huge head-to-head top 25 matchups, 5 of the biggest games this season, 5 biggest games this week in Week 8 going this Saturday. I'm going to give you a free preview of all 5 of those top 25 matchups with my proprietary math simulation model, my power ratings, my projected win margin for each team, and also matchup analysis, situational analysis. I'll let you know where the value is for the 5 biggest college football games this Saturday, right here, free for you on Wager Talk TV. Quick reminder, we're having a fantastic season in college and pro football. NBA off to a nice start as well. Major League Baseball up over 20 units the past few months. This is the best time of year to be playing all sports. We have 4 major sports going in the month of October: college and pro football, baseball playoffs, and the NBA regular season is here. And I've got a very special offer for everybody on the video this weekend. Get a full month, 30 days, all sports, all access, every sport, every player release every day for the next 30 days for just $199. That's a $100 discount. Normally it's $299, but if you have promo code STEVE30, you get an instant $100 discount. You get the next 30 days and nights, every sport, every play, every day for just $199 complete. You do the math, you figure out how much you can win. That's just over $6 a day for every college, pro football, Major League Baseball, and NBA best bet for 30 straight days. The offer is good for this weekend only, and it's available right now on my website, Steve Merril at WagerTalk.com. By the way, if you're joining us late on Friday night, have an NBA Best Bet Friday. If you missed that, don't worry. NBA Saturday and Sunday, Major League Baseball playoffs, NLCS, both Saturday and Sunday. And, of course, a huge college football game. I've already got 4 advanced college football best bets posted for my clients as we head into the weekend. Huge NFL card online for Sunday as well. Don't miss out. Get 30 days all sports for just $199 with promo code STEVE30 right now. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. All right, let's get right to it. We got 5 head-to-head top 25 matchups for this Saturday, Week 8, October the 22nd. 3 daytime, 2 night games. First game goes early at 12 noon Eastern in the ACC. Number 14, Syracuse at number 5, Clemson. That's at noon Eastern on ABC. Let's first look at my power ratings. You know, I call these power ratings, but they're really more advanced than that. They basically are a math simulation. I put all my numbers in there. We run 10,000 simulations, and then we come up with a predicted average win margin. For this game, it's Clemson by 14.5. Now, most of the week, this line was 13.5, opened as low as 13. As we head into the weekend on Friday, it has hit 14 in many locations. So a little bit of that line value is gone now, but I do agree with Clemson here at 14 or less. Tough spot for Syracuse. The Orange are having a nice season, 6-0 straight up, 5-1 against the spread, no doubt about it. But this looks like a difficult scheduling spot. They've only been on the road once all season. That was way back over a month ago on September 10th, Week 2. They went to Connecticut right over the state border and an easy 48-14 win against a terrible UConn team. They were favored by 24 in that game. This is a much tougher test, to say the least, now in Death Valley and Clemson, and I think it's going to be too much for Syracuse. You know, the Orange have that strong home field advantage in the Carrier Dome over the years. So that means they're actually a weaker road team than average. And the odds makers don't always do a good job pricing them home field differential. And once again, my math model favors Clemson by 14.5 here. Line's 13.5, has gone to 14, but at 14 or less, I still like Clemson in a high-profile highlight game at noon Eastern on Saturday. All right, next game on the daytime card goes at 3:30 Eastern in the Pac-12. Number 9, UCLA at number 10, Oregon. That's on Fox at 3:30 Eastern. My math model favors Oregon in this game. It makes them almost a 10-point favorite in this one, so we get nearly a field goal of line value. And as we head into the weekend, this line is 6.5 in most locations, so there is definitely some line value with Oregon in this game. And I agree with the math model here. I think Oregon's the play. UCLA, just like Syracuse, perfect 6-0 straight up. They're 4-2 against the spread. They're having a great season, but Oregon also is having a solid season. They've only got 1 loss this year, and yes, it was a blowout, but it came way back in Week 1 against a really good Georgia team. Oregon is still alive here with 1 loss in the Pac-12, and so is UCLA, obviously. The loser of this game is probably eliminated from any national title contention. I think if Oregon wins this game, as they will, they're still alive with that 1 loss against Georgia. And other than 3 points in that game, they've been explosive offensively. They have scored 41 points or more in every one of their other 5 games heading into this one. UCLA also has put up 40 or more in 5 of their 6 games. So it should be a high-scoring game, and that's one of the reasons it's a big over-under total in this game. No disagreement there. Open 70.5, and it's currently sitting around 70.5. We haven't seen much move to the over, even though this game should be a shootout. I think Oregon, though, even though they're a little weaker statistically defensively, I think it's a bit misleading because they have played a much tougher schedule this year. And obviously that Georgia game bumps their average schedule rating up quite a bit. So once again, my math simulation favors Oregon by 10 in this game. So there is some line back the current number of 6.5. All right, one more game on the daytime card, also at 3:30 Eastern in the Big 12. Number 20, Texas at number 11, Oklahoma State, 3:30 Eastern on ABC. This is one of those rare examples where we have the higher rated team, higher ranked team as a home underdog, yet the line is almost a full touchdown. In fact, currently it's around -6. It was as high as 6.5 earlier this week. Oklahoma State does have some injuries, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They're also banged up after a double overtime loss last week at TCU. You know, last week, free plays at wagertalk.com. And by the way, be sure to check out the free plays for every sport every day at wagertalk.com. Free college football plays on the site last week went 9-1, 90% for free at wagertalk.com. I know the one game that missed because I had a free play on TCU -4, and that game they won by 3. But keep in mind, had it been the NFL, they would have kicked the extra point, the meaningless extra point. It would have been a push. But still, TCU was lucky to even win that game. They were down by 17 late. Huge monster comeback, and then a double overtime win by 3, 43-40. So you do have to really wonder, what does Oklahoma State have left in the tank here? And this is one of those games in which my math model favors one side, but I think the situational setup favors the other, and that's what's going to probably make it a pass big picture for me. I think the situational setup really favors Texas in this game for the reason I just mentioned. It's a bad spot for Oklahoma State. Texas also started 2-2, but they've won 3 straight since. They've really been a good football team this year. That near miss at Alabama could have easily won that game. Bad loss against Texas Tech. We'll give them a pass on that one. But they've looked pretty good since. 49-0 blowout of Oklahoma. I do think Texas was a little flat last week against Iowa State. They barely escaped 24-21 against an underrated Iowa State Cyclone team that we have used as best bets at time this year. They're a scrappy team. I think that was a sandwich letdown spot between these two Oklahoma matchups. I think Texas brings their A game this week. And keep in mind, this is also a revenge spot for the Longhorns as they lost outright as a 3.5-point home favorite last year to Oklahoma State. Now they're laying nearly a touchdown. They're a 6-point road favorite. Situation favors Texas for the reasons I just gave, but here's the problem. My math simulation makes the game only 2.5. My math model only favors Texas by 2.5, so we are giving up too much line value. Now, part of the reason the line is higher is because it's a bad situational spot for Oklahoma State, and they do have some injuries, as I mentioned. My math model doesn't factor those things in. It's just a pure number method. So I think at 6, it's a little high, but I would still say the situation favors Texas, but the math favors Oklahoma State, and that's why we'll be staying off this game on Saturday. There are 2 more top 25 matchups, both on the nighttime card for Saturday. Before we get to those, a quick reminder, now is the time to be playing all sports at wagertalk.com. We have 4 major sports going, best bets every day in 4 major sports for my clients. College football, pro football, obviously. Baseball playoffs are still going, plus the NBA regular season started this week. 4 major sports going on a daily basis, and you can get everything every day for the next 30 days with a super discount on my All Sports All Access monthly membership. Normally it's $2.99 for 30 days of all sports. With my special promo code STEVE30, you get it all for $1.99. That's the next 30 days and nights, every best bet, every sport, every play, every day that I'm personally using for just $1.99 complete. That's a $100 instant discount, but you have to have promo code STEVE30. Use it on my page right now, Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. All right, let's look at those 2 nighttime top 25 matchups for Week 8 in college football this Saturday night, October the 22nd. Going to look at the SEC here. Number 24, Mississippi State, sneaking in those top 25 rankings, or staying in the top 25, rather, at number 6, Alabama. That goes at 7 p.m. Eastern Saturday night on ESPN. Bama most of the week has been a 21-point favorite, but we've seen some 21.5 start to pop, and as we head into Friday night closer to the weekend, we are seeing a few more 21.5. So if you like Alabama, you want to lock up the -21 now. If you like Mississippi State, I would definitely wait, as you should get a 21.5 at some point before kickoff Saturday night. Let's look at my math model. My projected math model favors Alabama by 22.5 points, so there is some line value at 21 or less. Obviously, the difference between 21.5 and 22 is minimal because 22 is what we call a dead number, but 21 is an important number. And I do like Bama, but either way, I like Bama in this game from a situational aspect because they're coming off a loss. 7-0 straight up, average win by 33 points a game the last 7 times Nick Saban has lost a game. So Bama is not a team that feels sorry for themselves after a defeat. They're a team that comes out hungry, and we saw this exact situation last year. Keep in mind, Alabama lost to Texas A&M in the regular season. And they played this exact same opponent, Mississippi State, the next game. They beat them 49-9 last year. Beat them by 40. This year they're at home, laying just 21. My math model favors Bama by 22.5. And it looks like a good situational setup as well. You know, the college football game has changed a lot since I started in 1996 as a full-time professional sports bettor and handicapper. Something we used back in the 90s, it worked like clockwork, was rushing dominance. Obviously, college football teams throw a lot more now. The passing game is more prolific, but we still have a huge rushing mismatch in this game that I just can't overlook. Alabama averaging 237 rushing yards a game to just 95 for Mississippi State. And that, of course, is because Air Leach throws the ball a ton, a lot of dip and dunk, passes instead of running the ball. But still, Mississippi State has struggled to stop the run this year. They give up 4.7 against teams that allow just 4.2. Bama allows just 2.7. So a huge 100% certain rushing dominance edge for Alabama, which is something else that factors into the equation here. I like Alabama from a situational setup, and my math model favors them as well. Predicts they win by 22.5. I think it'll be even more due to the situation. That goes at 7 Eastern on ESPN. All right, the fifth and final head-to-head top 25 matchup for week number 8 this Saturday is at 8 o'clock Eastern on Fox Sports 1 in the Big 12. Kansas State, number 17 Kansas State, at number 8 TCU. It's actually the first game on the betting rotation, but it's a time change. It's now at 8 o'clock Eastern for Fox Sports 1, so that might be why you don't find it initially, but it's at the very top of the Wager Talk live odds screen if you're looking for it. And one thing I mentioned earlier in the Oklahoma State analysis against Texas, that Oklahoma State and TCU played a barn burner last week. Back and forth, TCU overcame a late 17-point deficit to come back and win in double overtime. I think the letdowns happened more after a tough loss, but obviously you could make a case that TCU could be a little flat here as well. So we'll see how they come out in this game. And then the exact opposite scheduling spot for Kansas State, as the Wildcats are coming off a bye week. So this is a team that had 3 straight wins heading into the bye. Maybe didn't need the bye, though, because they really did have some momentum going, so that could be a disadvantage. But from a health perspective and a fatigue perspective, TCU basically played 1.5 football games last week. And keep in mind, the week before that, they were in another shootout against Kansas, 38-31. And then they played Oklahoma, of course, the week before that, 55-24. So 3 straight high-scoring shootout games and no bye week versus a rested Kansas State team. So on the surface, I do think the situational setup, you can make an argument, probably favors the Wildcats. Let's look at the line value. The line is currently 3.5. My power ratings, my math model predicts TCU wins by 4. So the line is a little short. There's a little bit of value with TCU, but once again, that's probably offset by the situational setup, which looks like it most likely favors K-State. K-State does not throw the ball that well. They do run the ball extremely well. TCU also runs the ball extremely well, and we have seen this total drop a bit from 59 down to 54.5. And I think part of the reason is because you have 2 teams that run the ball with a lot of success that can keep the clock moving and shorten the game. But hard to play unders in TCU games recently, right? The last 3 weeks have just been shootouts. So not much of an opinion for me in this one. My math model favors TCU by 4, but the situational setup probably favors Kansas State off the bye week. All right, those are the 5 head-to-head true top 25 matchups. As I do in my baseball videos, I always give you something that's just a bit outside for making the cut. And the one I'm going to mention this week is number 7 Ole Miss playing number 27 LSU. They're the 27th ranked team in the AP. They're actually 26th in the coaches poll. So if LSU can get the win, they will be top 25 next week. So that's another game to keep an eye on. Not going to give you an analysis here because we just went over 5 games. We're running out of time, but I do have a best bet. Spoiler alert, best bet in the LSU Ole Miss game on my page right now, Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. That's part of those 4 advanced college football plays that I put up on Friday afternoon for all my clients going into Saturday. If you'd like to get a daily pass, it's available right now for $39, every sport all day for $39, or the best deal, get 30 days for just $199. Do the math. That's less than $6 a day. So if you want a 1-day pass for Saturday or Sunday, it gets you every football, baseball, basketball game. It's $39 a day. Or take a serious investment approach and get 30 days for just $199. Normally, it's $299. Go to my page right now. You're going to drop down All Sports All Access. You're going to see 30 days, $299. But if you enter this promo code, Steve30, it becomes $199, an instant $100 discount. Next 30 days and nights, every best bet I'm personally using, same games I've won with consistently for the past 26 years as a full-time professional handicapper, are yours as well when you're a direct client, a direct subscriber, and it's never been a better time. 4 major sports going right now on a daily basis: college and pro football, baseball playoffs, and the NBA regular season. It's not $299, it's just $199 for 30 days and nights of all sports with promo code Steve30. Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. Once again, get there quicker with the shortcut wt.buzz/sm. Hey, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a quick favor. Hit subscribe and hit the like button, the thumbs up. And if you want to know when my NFL Fade the Public video goes live Saturday afternoon and be the first to watch it, hit the bell for instant alerts. NFL Fade the Public will be back Saturday afternoon as it is every week. Hit subscribe, hit the bell for instant alerts, thumb up, and most importantly, you know the routine. Leave me comments below. Hey, look, we're halfway through the college football season. I need a haircut. What do you think? Do I keep it curly or do I cut it short? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. More importantly, let me know your thoughts on these top 25 matchups where you agree or disagree with the math projections. Hey, look, it's a math model. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. Let me know your thoughts on these big matchups. Let me know your other best bets, your under-the-radar selections as well for Saturday college football. And then check back later this weekend, Saturday afternoon into Sunday, for that NFL Fade the Public video right here on Wager Talk TV. Thanks for watching. Comment below. I reply back. I read every one of them. Best of luck this Saturday. I'll talk to you again soon Sunday with the NFL Fade the Public video right here on Wager Talk TV.